Oh, there is a big secret that they're not going to open. Because what the East was doing at that time was to counter the West. We were speaking with the Shahzada about this. And the Japanese requested for Islamic scholars to go there during the time of Sultan Abdul Hamid Khan. That we just celebrated we commemorated his urs, his veiling a few days ago. Because at that time when the West was in ascendancy, and this is prior to where? Prior to what? World War I. I was going to say great things was going to happen. No. Disasters were about to happen. And at that time, in the 1900s, early 1900s, let's say, the old world order was already crumbling. They were understanding the new world order is going to come. Why was China destroyed? You think it's so easy to destroy China? Of course, Allah can destroy China like that. Allah can destroy whole nations with just one shout, one wind, anything. They've passed their limits, no. But a 5,000-year-old civilization, okay, that drew what they call a bamboo curtain over and say we don't need nothing from no one, and we have so much that during one of its highest moments, had a Muslim general, admiral, to show off its power, that it sailed with a bunch of ships that could easily take over half the world if it wanted to. What was the name of that admiral? Cheng Ho. That today they call who? Sinbad. Sinbad. They destroyed China. China was. Do you think it's so difficult for China at that time, in the days of the Qing Emperor, especially when it was that woman who was ruling, the Empress Dowager? It wasn't the last emperor. His mother was ruling. They're very slick, women. It can be. And they were taking, do you think it's so difficult for them to take the technology of the West? What the West had to offer at that time? Only the technology. They can take that, then you can control so many things. We've already crippled India. The Muslims were there for 1,000 years. They crippled it already. India was controlling 25% of the GDP. 25% in the 1700s, 1800s. They took all of that, they brought it to Europe. The Dutch came all the way to Indonesia to take the spice that was worth its weight in gold and more. What, you think they got technology because they were so hardworking, because they were so enlightened, because they were so this and they were so that? When Muslims are going to wake up to history? Yeah. And what happened when they forced, who forced Japan to open up? Who? See, you don't even know your history. He's a smart guy. Grandson of Sultan, inshallah. Who opened up? Who forced Japan to open up? Any one of you? America. Turn its guns to Japan and say, you better open up. Because it controlled the Pacific corridor, our back alley, our back side. Japan didn't want to open up. They modernized. They opened up, they became modern. What is that called? You don't remember your history, huh? You studied this, didn't you? Or you didn't take? Meiji Restoration. They decided to just bring in all these Western things and to modernize it. And they were getting better at it. You think it's so difficult for Asians just to copy? When they turned and they said, oh, these people, they get together. If they combine their forces, we're in for it. This has to stop. So it stopped. China, they pumped in drugs, opium from India, completely crippled them, finished. India is done. Japan cannot do too much. Muslims now. You say Muslims, this one escapes us. The Ottomans, they're bringing East and West together? You have to remove the head because they all follow a head. We don't remove the head, they say. We remove one head and we put in 1,000 heads there. Then they're going to keep on fighting with each other until Judgment Day. Convince them they need their own head, that the head that they have is not their head. It is not their people. It is not for their interest. It's for the Turks. So we need a head. One head for Albania, one head for Egypt, one head for Iraq, one head for every Muslim country over 73. Within that time, then leave it. So, that happened. You understand? But, as I was saying, the conversation with Shahzad, the Sultan Abdul Hamid Khan also understood there's certain things that should not be, cannot be used, because we have to look at sincerity. It's not just spreading Islam. It's not a problem. Spreading Islam, you can spread Islam. But here we're talking about certain divine plans that have to be in action. It cannot just be given to anyone. You understand? So, yeah, stick around. There's many things yet we'll have to see. But don't make your lives to be small. We're Muslims. So our lives are as big as the Prophet that we're following. If you make your lives just about your work and your own small sense of happiness and your own small sense of misery, what difference is it from the unbelievers? ومن الله التوفيق. الفاتحة. أعوذ بالله